Good morning, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News Now, coming to you from our digital desk. You know that sound by now. That means it is time for Cuyahoga's Most Wanted. We're going to show you three fugitives that could be out on our streets right now. They're facing warrants, charges. They're wanted by the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department. You could call in a tip that could lead to up to a $5,000 reward. If you're watching this on social media, it is a simple hit of the share button. We know this works. We're at about a 48% capture rate of all the fugitives that we have featured on Cuyahoga's Most Wanted. That means that of the three people we're about to show you, well, one, maybe even two are going to get picked up here in the very near future. If you are one of our three fugitives, you may want to save yourself, your family, the hassle of having the warrant unit show up to your home. You may just want to turn yourself in. We're going to welcome in again from the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department, Detective Nick Riegelmayer. Detective, how are you today?
Good, thank you, Dan.
Let's get right to our three cases. Let's make our community just a little bit safer by getting these individuals off the street and into a courtroom so they can face the charges. We're going to start with our first case up here, Tayshawn Sims. What do we know?
We know that Tayshawn Sims is wanted out of Cuyahoga County. He failed to show up for this past April for a trial on his 16-count felony indictment in which he cut his ankle bracelet on the day of trial. His original charges stemmed from an incident back in December of 2022, in which he had 2.5 hours, in a span of 2.5 hours, he robbed two different people and attempted to take their vehicles, both with a gun. The initial incident, he robbed a female with a gun, and stole her wallet and cell phone, and then later another man tried to take his vehicle. Sims is wanted for a warrant additionally out of Macedonia police for failure to appear. He described it being 5'7" and 125 pounds, and last known to be staying at the 13,000 block of Ferdinand Avenue.
Two robberies in 2.5 hours. I don't know what the Guinness Book of World Record is, but that's got to be pretty darn close. Let's get to our second case here. This is a rape case. Anytime we feature, whether they're sex offenders or rape cases, these are just really get you upset, and this is why we do this. We get this out in the public. We want people to turn in these individuals so they can face their charges. Let's talk about Brandon Fluker.
So Brandon Fluker, also known as Brandon Darndale, he's wanted for that rape case, and the reports state that the victim and Fluker were watching a movie when she fell asleep. She awoke to Fluker sexually assaulting her, and when he attempted to push her off, he grabbed her by the throat. He's also known to carry weapons from a 2017 case in which he pled guilty to carrying concealed weapons. Reports in that case stated that when he was over in Cleveland Heights, the police stopped his van and he was found to be in possession of a loaded 9mm handgun. Reports also state that he attempted to fake his identity to throw off the police during their investigation. He can be identified through a neck tattoo, as well as what appears to be a cross on his face, tattoo of a cross on his face. Brandon Fluker is 5'6" and 154 pounds, and was last known to be staying at the 14,000 block area of Elderwood Avenue over in the city of East Cleveland.
Yeah, that cross tattoo under his left eye, pretty noticeable, kind of interesting. Religious enough to get a cross on your face, but apparently not to be a fugitive wanted for 2 rape charges. Let's get to our third and final fugitive that could be out there right now. We're talking about Cameron Marion Haynes. What do we know?
We know that Cameron Haynes is accused of burglarizing the victim's home and property with a gun. The allegations also state that he stole a Browning 12-gauge pump-action shotgun, as well as a safe in this incident. He is not allowed to be in possession of a gun due to a 2019 guilty plea. He also has fresh additional charges through the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Office that just came down for receiving stolen property. Cameron Hayes is described as being 5'2" and 130 pounds. He was last known to be staying over at the 43,000 block of Clybourn Avenue in Cleveland.
Detective, the reason we do this is we're hoping that somebody recognizes any one of these three fugitives. Maybe you know they're working under the table somewhere. Maybe you know the bar that they hang out at. Maybe you know the home that they're hiding in with a girlfriend or perhaps a parent. When people call in that tip, people can be nervous. I don't want to be associated with this. I don't want my name anywhere around this. I don't want the criminal to find out that I'm the one who called in the tip. Why can you reassure our viewers that's not going to happen?
Well, our lines are not recorded. There's no caller ID. We don't ask for your name or any identifiable information, and it's totally anonymous. You get a tip number and you call back within 45 days, and you can get up to a $5,000 cash reward for that tip.
And that number, 216-252-CRIME or 216-252-7463. It is your chance to help clean up our community. Again, with 48% of these fugitives that we've been featuring since November, we're getting a good number of these off the street and into a courtroom. Detective, when we talk about that reward, what do we like people to know?
That crime doesn't pay, but Crime Stoppers does.
Absolutely does. Detective Nick Riegelmayer, thank you very much for highlighting today's three fugitives. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Dan.
All right, take care. Again, this is an opportunity to get some reward money. Time's a little tight, recession, price is a little high. What an extra $2,500 or $5,000 might do simply for making that phone call, in which you get to remain anonymous. Your name will not be associated with the case. You're never going to have to show up in court. That's the good part about Crime Stoppers of Cuyahoga County. If we have any other breaking news, we're going to bring it to you here on our digital platforms. Our 11 o'clock news underway on CW43 and our noon news coming up on Channel 19. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. This has been Cuyahoga's Most Wanted.
19 News is everywhere. Download our CTV apps and follow us on social media at Cleveland 19 News.